that just came through.
What's up, everybody? This is Ronnie McKee. Doing another show, Ronnie Sports Corner. This is the first show in a while. Sorry for the long, long absence, but I'm back and we about to get into the draft. I got my boy Sam Shields with me.
You know,
About to get into a first round of the draft, break down what we think and everything like that. Since we're in Atlanta, as you can tell by the shirt and everything like that. We're gonna break down the Atlanta Falcons starting off first. So I'm gonna let him give his take first, and then I'll go ahead and let y'all know what I think.
yeah, Ronnie over there leading the black and red, but of course for the 2024 draft, the Atlanta Falcons had the eighth pick. I think this is like the second or third year where they had the eighth pick. I think years previous they chose Drake London, who was their wide receiver one, and they also chose Bijan Robinson in last year's draft, who is like their running back one, two, flip flop, whatever they have. He also works with
Yeah,
Tyler Algier in the backfield, but this year is no different. They have another eighth pick, and with that pick they go for Michael Penix, Jr., the quarterback from Washington. I believe he's 23 years old. I know everybody was in an uproar about his age, which I'm not too familiar. I'm like, he's 23, still young. But I think I kind of know why. The Falcons did in the offseason pick up a free agent by the name of Kirk Cousins for $180 million, with 100 of that million being guaranteed for a total of 4 years. So with that, um, a lot of people were confused. I feel like the Falcons threw kind of a wrench into the draft. I don't think anybody was expecting them to pick up a quarterback. I think everybody was going, you need to go edge rusher, you need to go defensive line. I think they finished like 32nd in the season this past season for
stats.
rushing. Yeah. They finished 32nd in something where they need defensive linemen. And of course they go Michael Penix. So uh, I me personally, I'm a Vikings fan. I wanted Penix for my team, but completely fair game, of course. But I think it was a good pick overall. Of course, he'll be sitting down for a couple of years, so he'll have to sit back and develop. I think you throw him in there, plug and play, he's ready to go. So, like, if the Falcons overall wanted to make him plan for the future, I think they go a little bit cheaper on the front end, not give Kirk so much money,
Yeah.
or they go with Justin Fields, who was available that got picked up by the Steelers for a six-round pick. I think you go that route. I don't see why they go Michael Penix, but also too on the opposite hand, last year's quarterback, the market was so bad after your first string starter. If you didn't have after your first string, if he was out, basically your team was done. We've seen that with the Vikings. We've seen that with the Falcons. We've seen that with a bunch of teams this season. Like if you didn't have your guy, if you didn't have a guy, your team struggled. So I think what the Falcons are trying to do is kind of plan for that future.
Okay, so here's my take on it. So first of all, I watched the Falcons games for the past 3 years. My bad, I've been watching Falcons games for longer, so let me stop acting like that. But for the past 2 years, we have had terrible quarterback play. And by terrible, I mean it's been awful. I can count to you 3 games for the past 2 seasons where we have lost games because our quarterback either threw a pick or he fumbled. We haven't went to the playoffs since 2017, I believe. We could have easily went these past 2 years if we had competent quarterback play. So, you
Yeah.
get Kirk Cousins in the offseason. Kirk Cousins can take you to the playoffs. I believe that because, like I said, all you need is competent quarterback play.
Will he win in the
Because
playoffs? 1 and 3.
that's what I'm about to get to. That's what I'm getting to. Okay, so first of all, he gonna get you to the playoffs. I totally believe that because, like I said, all you need is somebody who didn't turn the ball over 2 or 3 times, and you win 2 or 3 games. You go to the playoffs the past 2 years. Now we wouldn't have did anything in the playoffs. I mean, our quarterback play was awful, so it's not like we would have won. But I'm saying if you put Kirk Cousins in the same place that you put Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota in the past 2 years, you go to the playoff. but also you don't expect Kirk Cousins to be there for long. And the way Kirk Cousins play regular season, you probably not gonna get another top 10 pick because he plays pretty good in the regular season. Now in the playoffs, like I said, I expect the first round exit. I'm not expecting anything else other than us going to the playoffs. So I understand why you would make this pick because you like in the next 2 or 3 years, you might not get, a quarterback that you want because you're probably gonna be picking, past 10, like after 10, given how Kirk Cousins played in the regular season. So it's that not that I'm mad at the pick because I told everybody I wanted Penix before we even got Kirk Cousins. I said I would rather have Penix than get Kirk Cousins. I'd rather get somebody new, not really know, they unpredictable. I would rather that. Kirk Cousins, we know what we're gonna get from him. He done had elite wide receivers. He done had Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, Hawkinson,
Jordan
Jordan
Addison.
Addison.
Yeah.
Like he done had some players and he got one playoff win. So I know what they expect. I mean, he had players and he still only got you one playoff win. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I know what to expect from him. And like I said, Michael Penix, he can learn from him. And shoot, Michael Penix got an arm now.
Yeah.
He got an
Yeah.
arm.
He
So
does.
like I
He
said,
definitely
I
does.
wasn't mad at it. I wasn't mad at it at all. Was I surprised? Absolutely not. We had 1,000-yard rusher last year. Guess what we did? We picked up a running back,
Yep.
top 10. We
Yep.
had we got Kyle Pitts the year before. We picked up Drake London. So I mean, am I surprised? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's the most Falcons can do.
Yeah.
Now, guess what? In these later rounds, you better get a defensive end, you better get a
Yeah.
cornerback, and you better get a safety. Because your
Yeah.
defense is struggling. But like I said, even as bad as our defense has been for the past few years, our quarterback has lost us a lot of those games.
Yeah.
Like a lot
But
of those games.
I guess my whole thing is why go so big for Kirk Cousins, giving him the $180 million when you have people on the board like a Justin Fields? Mind you, they already missed him in that same Kyle Pitts draft where Falcons took Kyle Pitts instead of Justin Fields. And this is when Matt Ryan was walking out of the door and they needed to replace him. And instead, once it got time where Matt Ryan is gone, your Marcus Mariota option didn't work out. And now you have Desmond Ridder, who now has to be a starter. And it's like now you're kind of throwing it up in the air. And I think they're trying to make up for that, possibly. But I put it kind of in that same situation where that draft year, they needed a quarterback. And what did they do? They go tight end and then set themselves up for the next 2, 3 years to be horrible, to have to put themselves in the positions where they overpay Kirk and now have to
Hey,
pick up a
you
quarterback in the
you
wide
you
receiver.
you
I
want me
mean,
to
a
tell
quarterback in the first round.
the funniest part about this?
Mm.
Now that I think about it, their quarterback play has been so bad for the past 2 years. Like they said,
Yes,
even though we got a
yes,
quarterback, we need to get one through the our quarterback play has
yes.
been that bad for the past 2 years that even though we know we have a quarterback, we need to play it just in case because our quarterback play has been that bad for the past 2 years. So
But I feel
honestly,
like
it
it was
might
based off
be
one mistake, that Kyle Pitts one. And I love Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is an elite. I see why. I think he was the highest tight end picked. I forgot what. I don't know if it was in NFL
in
history,
recent
but
years. He was
yeah, at
definitely the
least
highest.
goodness. He went number 4 in that draft.
Yeah.
So it's like, I get it. And I thought they were going to make up for it during this offseason when Justin Fields
Justin Fields was right there.
becomes a free agent. You can take Justin Fields for the 1 year. I guess you're going to take Kirk for the 2 years. You can pay Justin Fields a little less. I don't know however they do it. I don't know how the money would work out, but you don't have to pick up Justin Fields' fifth year option. The Steelers just denied it, so they're not even going to pick it up. So they're going to give him a 1 year and let's see how I go. Or good luck. If you were just going to have Michael Penix sit for a year or two, why not do that? Why not take that route and save yourself some money? Now you got to hope Kirk Cousins plays the full 2 years, because if he doesn't play at least 2 years
I mean, he's
at a
guaranteed
high
100.
level,
He's
I know
guaranteed
he's
100 mil
guaranteed the
regardless.
100. But let's say he only plays the 1 year.
Yeah, you wasted some money, but I mean, if Michael Penix pans out. I mean, if Michael Penix pans out, you might have wasted
Oh,
some money, but hey,
for
you
sure.
got
But we're playing the what if game, and you still lose that money. What if? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You still lose the money regardless. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's still a loss at the end of the day, but they definitely threw a wrench in the system, which I think affected the rest of the draft because now you have a bunch of defensive players, great defensive players, really good defensive players that dropped in the draft, and a lot of people got lucky because of that. My team being one of them.
All
But
right, so that's what we leading into. Okay, now, all right, we start off with the Falcons, obviously, of course, us being in Atlanta, everything like that. What was the best pick as far as offensively wise that you think? It's two of them now, but go ahead.
now I want to hear what yours was.
Okay, for one, I like Jayden Daniels in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Washington has a whole bunch of weapons, which people don't even know about. They got running back. They got Terry McLaurin, who's one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. He's very underrated when you talk about wide receivers because his name don't get mentioned too much. But he's one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. You got Samuels. I don't know his first name. You got Samuels. You got Logan Thomas at tight end. And they also got another wide receiver that they just picked up. So I'm not really sure. But they gave that he has a lot of weapons to work with. So I like where you can just plug him in. And like I said, with Terry McLaurin, you can do screen passes, stuff like that. You can do slants. It ain't gotta be something where, you can really just kind of put him in very, very slowly. And obviously, everybody has to love the pick that the Chiefs made. So you get Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, somebody who a deep threat because they haven't had that since Tyreek Hill left. And you get Xavier Worthy, another deep threat. So now you're telling me you got to deal with Marquise Brown, Xavier Worthy. Then you got to deal with Rashid Rice and Travis Kelce. That's that's a lot of weapons to deal with. And they just won the Super Bowl without them weapons.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a scary sight now.
Yeah.
The scary sight. You giving Mahomes a little bit too many weapons to work with, and they still got some wide receivers in this next round. So
Mm-hmm.
we just don't know. But like I said, you giving him a lot to work with, and for the past 2 years, he had to deal with Kadarius Toney, which we don't even need to get into. Just people saying his name alone, everybody know. And he
Yeah.
had to deal with Marquise Valdez Scantling, sometimes, he got some stone hands, he might not catch it, and he might not catch it, but he came up big in the Super Bowl and AFC Championship, so I can't even say much, but
You did.
yeah, like I said, those two definitely for me. I like Chicago too, but
That was mine.
I'm gonna get into Caleb Williams in a little while. Watching his highlights, he make a lot of plays where he's running around a lot. I didn't see too much conventional as far as just drop back and just set your feet and throw it. Which you're not gonna like. That's what you're gonna have to do in the NFL. It's very rarely that you're gonna be running around and stuff like that. I think people get enamored with Mahomes kind of doing that so much that they think that NFL nowadays you can really do that, but most of the time you can't. So
I'm not mad at it because I don't think it's like I think it's just a change of the game, right? We are getting people who are running faster, and we got defensive linemen who are literally running faster and faster. One of them, the Vikings picked up, and we'll talk about my team in a little bit, but they're getting faster than a lot of these quarterbacks, these running backs, and these are defensive linemen, edge rushers. Like there's a reason why you need to have that kind of ability to scramble, but a big pickup that I've seen that stood out was the Dunze pickup. Of course, Caleb Williams going number one. That's already going to be there. But for Chicago Bears to realize with their last situation with Justin Fields, his main complaint was, hey, or one thing that we've seen was, hey, he doesn't have anybody to throw to. And so from them picking, I think it's DJ Moore that went over there. And now they got a Dunze over there. They got Caleb Williams. They kind of built a trio to kind of work with and hopefully
hey,
not set their quarterback up to throw any weapons. Now,
hey,
coaching and stuff like that, that's going to be on the other
hey,
side.
you know what I really thought about? Like I
Uh,
compared that situation. Man, it's kind of like it's kind of like you in a relationship, right?
yeah,
And the person didn't give you all that you wanted out of them. And
yep.
next thing you know, they go with somebody else and they giving them giving you
It,
everything that you wanted. You like,
exactly.
what? You like, what the
They get,
like you gave Justin Fields, DJ Moore. You said, hey, go out and win those games. And you
yeah,
give Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Roma dude. Give him Keenan Allen. He got offensive line
Keenan
now.
Allen. Yeah,
He got
a
offensive
bunch of
line.
weapons.
You looking at like,
Yeah, it's
no,
gonna be
they
an
did
easy
not.
flip. They gonna say, see, that's why it was his fault the whole time. We told y'all. Yeah, no, for sure. That's definitely what it is. They gonna throw it back on him and blame it on him. So, but yeah, they set him up super nice. So that's one pickup that I like. And then let's see. I think that was the main one. I think one that shocked me was Brock Bowers. I've seen a lot of people not liking that pick by Brock Bowers, but I don't think Raiders necessarily wanted a tight end. I think they wanted
No,
a
no, no.
quarterback.
They definitely wanted a quarterback, but who was it? Yeah, Bo Nix was picked 12th right
Yeah,
before them. They was
12.
going for a quarterback. So they said, well, we gotta go with the best person on the board now because quarterback is gone.
Seven
They had to go with the
quarterbacks in the
best person on
top
the board
12.
because so like I said, Bo Nix went right before them. And like I said, right now, they still scratching their head at what they about to do at quarterback. Like they released Jimmy Garoppolo, and
Uh-huh.
Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't giving them much anyway to deal with, but they released him. So at this point, they're like, I don't know what we about to do at quarterback. We gotta get
Yeah.
somebody, but I don't know what we're gonna do.
And that's why you can't be too mad at the Atlanta Falcons. Because I've seen a lot of mock drafts where Penix is on the board for the Raiders. So you can't be mad at the Falcons for going and getting them a quarterback. At this point, you have to. Like I said, last year's season showed us that if you don't have a guy that's your guy that you're rolling with that's productive, if you don't have that, your team is going to be horrible. So we see, I think, all the way until I forgot which. It's up until the 15th pick where we actually get a defensive player to go off the board.
Yeah.
So we got
Yeah.
we got offensive tackles to protect quarterbacks because quarterbacks were getting hurt. We got quarterbacks because quarterbacks were getting hurt, and now we got wide receivers, and wide receivers slowly but surely have been running the market. These guys are starting to enter astronomical numbers when it comes to deals, just because we can see if you have an elite wide receiver, you can have a mildly decent quarterback that can just chuck the ball up and let him go get it.
I think
I'm not
Tua
gonna
is the
say.
perfect example
I
for
was
that.
just about to say I don't want to
Yeah.
call Tua mildly
Yeah.
decent because I think he is still a good quarterback, but you can just kind of throw it up and hey, you go get that ball, Tyreek. Hey, Justin Jefferson, I'm gonna throw this ball up. You go get this ball.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, you go get the like. It's at that point where you know you can
Wide receivers are
it's
just
a wide
that
receiver
good.
market. Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
that
wide
good.
receivers are just that good. But I was gonna say, what defensive pick did you like the most? Because honestly, I like the Rams with Jared Verse. And I was telling
Yeah,
everybody before the draft, people were saying Dallas Turner. I feel like Dallas Turner was more hype because he went to Alabama. When I watched Jared Verse, he kind of popped off at the screen because he's pushing linemen into the quarterback.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's rare. Like I
yeah,
understand you getting around and stuff like that, but he's pushing linemen into the quarterback, and he didn't just do it once. I've saw it like almost once every game.
yeah,
And like I said, these are grown men now.
yeah.
Well, my bad. These are college people. They're
Oh, they're
college
grown men.
kids.
They're grown
Yeah,
men.
they're semi. But I'm saying like, these are you pushing them against their will into the quarterback, and the quarterback is falling down because this 300-pound lineman is in his lap.
Yeah,
So, like I said, I like Jared Verse to the Rams. I also like I definitely like Detroit pick because Detroit is a team that struggle at corner. And
yeah,
for them to get Terry Arnold from Alabama, he was one of the top corners in college football. So I
yeah,
definitely like that one. We saw in the playoffs against the Rams, and I just feel like they choked against 49ers. But against the
yeah.
Rams, they definitely showed that they needed a corner. And
Mm-hmm.
in the Ravens, picking up the corner from Clemson.
Yep.
Ravens
Nate
just
Wiggins.
hey, yeah. Hey, Ravens gonna pick up defense. If there's
Oh
one
yeah.
thing Ravens gonna pick up, now they struggle with their offensive picks. They definitely struggle with their offensive picks.
I
But
mean,
one
they
thing about
picked
this,
up. I mean, the free agency, they took care of what they needed to. They closed. Hey, we got a running back, Derrick Henry.
they still need another wide receiver. They still need another wide receiver.
You don't
They
think
got
Zay can get it done?
you talking about Zay, that's it.
I don't think, but I don't think that's like, oh my goodness, that's it. I don't think you need to have two powerhouse wide receivers. I think Zay could get it done. He showed he could, and versus the Chiefs. The only thing is he messed up a couple times, rookie mistakes. But we have a thrown football at the end for excessive celebration, or not
Yeah.
excessive celebration, but they got a 15-yard penalty. I think there was a fumble somewhere. So it's like small mistakes, but that he is their guy. I don't think they need it. They have enough offensive pieces to get the job done, especially with the
I
addition of Derrick Henry.
don't know. We gotta agree to disagree, but we gonna keep on the NFL draft because that's a different
Fair
topic
enough,
for a
fair
different
enough, fair
day.
enough, fair enough.
But who was the defensive pick that you would say you like the most?
Yeah, I like the Mitchell from Toledo for the Eagles.
Okay.
I feel like the Eagles last year even had like a great defensive first round that went.
Man, you know what I just thought about? And I'm glad you said that. I do like that pick because
Yeah,
Bradbury one game against Seattle got picked on the whole series at the end of the game, and they
yep,
scored a whole touchdown off that.
yeah.
Like
And
every
they
play,
had
it
it
was on
looking
Bradbury.
bad. Had it looking bad.
Hey,
And you,
it was so bad because he was getting picked on the whole year. It wasn't just
yeah,
that game, but that
yeah,
game was one of the highlights of the whole season because he got picked on that whole series. And like I said, so I definitely like that one. I'm sorry, I forgot all about the Eagles, but go ahead, continue. I
yeah.
forgot all about
So
that. I
that,
like that
so
pick.
that was my favorite one. I think he also had one of the fastest 40s in the draft. So quick guy.
Yeah,
Darius Slay is there to kind of coach him up, mentor him. So I like that defense a lot on paper.
I
Of
think Darius
course,
Slay might ask for a trade.
he asked for a trade.
I'm sorry, I don't. I gotta look it up, but I think he might ask for a trade. I don't know,
Oh, okay.
but
If he's
yeah,
gone
yeah.
before then, but either way, if that's the case, I still like the pick. They're getting really lucky. I think last year they got super lucky because Falcons. Who was it that the Falcons passed on last year for Bijan?
Jalen
Georgia.
Carr, Jalen Carr.
Jalen Carter. Yep. Jalen Carter passed on him, fell into the lap of the Eagles, which was crazy, amazing. They've done great when it comes to first round defense. So I thought that was a great pickup for them. They definitely need the help when the offense is struggling. We've seen them struggle a little bit last year. And then I think that was the main one that I liked, other than my team, the Minnesota Vikings, where we picked up Dallas Turner. I like Dallas Turner. I like that he fell to 7. I don't like that he fell for 17 for, I know the money thing and how it works. Sorry, but having the Falcons pass on him, and then we're able to make a trade to move up from 23 to 17 and pick up Dallas Turner. I like that pickup a lot just because we just recently released, or
Yeah.
we lost Danielle Hunter to free
I,
agency.
I
Yep.
So I was just about to say it. So let's get into the Vikings right quick. So y'all picked up a quarterback, JJ McCarthy, and y'all
Yep.
picked up a defensive end. So what I found funny about y'all pickups was y'all traded Danielle Hunter. So basically y'all traded Danielle Hunter for Dallas Turner. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Danielle Hunter is better than Dallas Turner, but like I said, y'all kind of traded money for money. That's kind of what y'all did. And Kirk Cousins, I thought y'all hit right on the money to do that. Now, me personally, I'm not the biggest JJ McCarthy fan. I saw him. He doesn't really just jump off the page to me. But I mean, like I said, let's hear what you got to say about, because this is your team.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But I think so we got a new head coach, and then we also had a new GM. I believe last season was kind of their first season combining on a draft class. Um, and with that, I think when new people come in, when a new GM comes in, a new coach comes in, we're looking to bring in our guys. We're not looking to keep the same regime unless you're performing to a high level. I think in certain places, our GM Questy, he had to clear a lot of cap space just because we were over on how much we were paying players. So he had to clear out a lot of cap space, which he did. So next free agency, we will have a lot of money where we can go pick up different puzzle pieces just because
Y'all
we
about to
let
pay Jay
go.
Jez the bank.
And we're gonna pay Jay Jettis. That's a fact. That's gonna happen. At this point, that's gonna happen. I don't know what's going on with the wide receiver market where everybody's holding out because CD Lamb still hasn't got paid.
CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, and Jay Jez are all waiting for one to sign so they can sign for $1.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, 1 million, like 1 million. Yeah. Hey, he got paid 500 mil. I want 501 mil. That's literally all they're doing. So, but either way, I like the replacement. I think Kurt was on the back half of his career. The Achilles
Yeah.
injury definitely hurt him. Still probably would have been a great player. one thing about the Falcons that they're going to have to learn, which I've seen, is Kirk needs at least 1 year to learn the playbook and be that efficient as we were seeing him last season at the beginning. I think JJ McCarthy, he comes in, he'll learn the playbook. It'll take him a year to develop, but I see huge upside to him. I still think he's a really good quarterback. He's a winner. We won the Natty last season. I expect him to still do great things and continue to win. We also put him in a fantastic situation. I think one thing that helped Kurt look good is that he also had Justin Jefferson, TJ Hockenson, and Jordan Addison to throw to. Or he had Stephon Diggs or Adam Thielen to throw to. So when you guys got these guys to throw to, you don't have to be the best, you know. And not to take anything away from Kirk because he's an amazing. I like him as a quarterback, but JJ McCarthy can grow into that, and I think it's a perfect situation for him. Danielle Hunter would have loved to keep Danielle Hunter. I think it was just kind of a money thing, what he was looking for. You know how all that goes. And I think if you can take your chances with getting a first-round pick to replace him, he might not be as good, but we get to save a little bit of money to work on other pieces, which we also needed to do. We need to work on finding cornerbacks, whether that's free agency next year or whenever, but that'll be the main focus. We need to work on finding cornerbacks. And hopefully later rounds in the draft, I think we gave up our second-round pick, so we won't be picking up anything tonight because we moved up to 17. So in those later rounds, we can find a solid cornerback, but that was an area that we struggled in was cornerback for this past season.
Yeah, like I said, I definitely agree with you on that. And like I said, I'm not really sure how much time we got left, so we want to get into wide receivers. Marvin Harrison went first.
Yep.
You got Malik Neighbors going second, and you got Rome Aduzne. My bad, I'm saying his name wrong. But you got him going third. So I just want to break this down for those three. I feel like Marvin Harrison, I feel like he kind of in the same spot that DeAndre Hopkins was in a few years ago. Like, remember when him and Kyler Murray first got together and he was like one of the best wide receivers in the NFL?
Yeah.
I feel like Marvin Harrison is going to have, I think he's going to have definitely a big impact. Just the way that, I mean, for one, he's like 6'3", damn near 6'4". Mm-hmm. So he's already like you put your hand up, that's a big target at 6'4".
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors going to the Giants. I liked it, but I don't believe in Daniel Jones. So I don't know how much he's actually gonna get the ball. Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like, hey, you pick the best guy on the board. I agree. That's what you do. You pick the best guy on the board. But man, they're gonna have to find somebody like they might be in the field to get Justin Fields next year, you know, after probably Pittsburgh passed up on them or something like that. Like,
yep.
But you know, at some point they're gonna have to get another quarterback because I just don't believe in Daniel Jones. And Rome Aduzne, I like him going to Chicago. And the thing about it is he can like get into his role very, very slowly because you got DJ Moore, who's a wide receiver 1, you got Keenan Allen, who's a wide receiver 2. So you at the wide receiver 3, I'm pretty sure Keenan Allen is gonna get moved out very, very soon, you know, eventually. Given he's older, you know, getting older and everything like that.
Keenan Allen had one of his, come on, man. Don't do that to Keenan.
I'm saying he's
fantastic year last year.
They're not gonna keep paying. He's getting paid
$20
million.
Best year last year, if I'm not wrong.
He's getting paid $20 million. They're not gonna pay him $20 million another year. Like I think they're gonna tell him like you need to lower your money or we're gonna have to get you out.
That's what the Chargers said to him. And what he said? He said, "I'm out of here."
Yeah,
that's my best year. You asking me to lower my bread? Crazy, man.
Hey, they might ask him again. Shoot, everybody, hey, we need to get some defense. We might need to get some offensive line. Like, hey, man, you got to lower your money. So, that's why I say I feel like Malik Neighbors is in the worst spot, but I feel like he's the most talented out of them.
I like Malik Neighbors a lot. But I do like Adunze. Adunze was my favorite wide receiver. Just from watching him play throughout the season, physical guy that can catch. And I like that. And I don't know if it's because Michael Penix was throwing to him, but also too.
I mean, he got Caleb Williams throwing to him now. So I mean,
yeah, exactly. So I feel like it'll transfer over super well. We'll see how that goes. But also too, Caleb Williams, not Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. He was throwing to neighbors for LSU. I like that little tandem right there. I think that was the best like duo in college, if that makes sense. But I think my favorite wide receiver is a Doomsday out of this draft. That was my favorite, and I like it. I like to see what he does. I like to see what he does in the NFL with Caleb Williams throwing to him. That's something I'm going to be watching for sure.
I think Marvin Harrison would probably have the biggest impact year one.
You think so?
He got the most proven quarterback. Let's just put it like that.
And I'm saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, because we have people, and you can attest to this. We'll take your team, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. For the past 2 years, it's been kind of quiet because of their quarterback situation.
That's why
So
I
in
don't
my
believe in
head,
Malik Neighbors as far as with the Giants, because I'm like he had a shaky quarterback. That's why I said I'm more so on the line of Marvin Harrison having the best impact, and then Rome having the second because we just don't know what Caleb Williams is gonna be yet.
yeah,
As far as like I said, we saw him in college, Heisman winner, of course, but we just don't know what he's gonna be in the NFL. Because like I said, I feel like he gotta get more conventional. I feel like a lot of his game is kind of playground. I feel like he gotta get more conventional for sure.
that's what happens when you play in the Pac-12, man.
I mean, yeah, I know they teach you terrible that's
We
terrible
throw the
fundamentals.
ball. We throw the ball. It's just like playground, no defense. Good luck. That's what they kind of teach you. That's why I got a little bit more faith in the LSU guy. I don't know, but it is
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah. And like I said, we going down with 8 minutes left. So we gonna just get into some more picks. I mean, we got into the main ones right now. We don't go with like the smaller picks there. So we'll go with let's go with the end of the draft. What did you think about San Francisco getting a wide receiver, given that they still having a problem as far as the Brandon Ayuk contract?
I I like it. I like them stacking up on a wide receiver, um, kid out of Florida. I like them picking it up. I feel like they're on paper. I feel like they're pretty stacked. They're good to go. So they can kind of when you pick up somebody in the seventh round like Purdy, and he can work out for you, and then you have so many offensive weapons. Yes, they're running into the issue with Ayuk. I don't even know what's going on with Ayuk. I feel like I've heard a bunch about him in the news and what's going on with him playing for the team, X, Y, and Z. So I think this is just kind of a safety net if that doesn't work out, possibly. Um, but either way, I like them still picking up a wide receiver. To me, it just shows me that Brock Purdy likes slinging the ball. He's gonna keep throwing it. That's what their focus is and what it's going to be, and it's only going to be even more. So they're going to be able to attack you however they want to, and now we got multiple first round picks for you that's gonna go at you, and good luck.
Yeah, like you said, I definitely like that one because I don't know. I just feel like Ayuk is on his way out. It's just something about that situation where because they paid Debo, they paid Christian McCaffrey, and you paid Kill. I'm not sure how much they paid Kill. Kill might be the highest paid tight end in the league, but you have to pay Purdy. So it's kind of coming up on that situation of, hey, we might need you to take a pay cut because we gotta pay him. Like Purdy was a seventh round pick. That man said he's roaming with somebody, so he gonna want his money. Like, hey, I gotta move out of rooming with
Yo,
somebody. Like,
yo,
I'm a starting quarterback. I play in the Super Bowl. Like, I shouldn't be rooming with somebody.
yeah, your
So,
quarterback Roman is crazy.
but California high as hell now. So,
Oh yeah, them prices
so
don't play,
hey,
man.
I might be rooming with somebody too. I'm like, man, you know what? I might just you get your room, I get my room. We go half on this.
Yeah, that
Shit
boy
high as
Purdy
hell.
be out somewhere in Oakland trying to pay for a house himself. That boy
And
be
maybe
right in the
commuting so
hood.
damn far.
Yeah, yeah, hour two from the facility trying to have a house by itself, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Shoot.
that
And also, the last pick. We gonna talk about the last pick because we got 5 minutes left. So we wrapping up on the end. But
Panthers move
Xavier will get
up.
to Xavier will get to the Panthers. I
This,
definitely liked it because
yeah.
you didn't give Bryce Young anything to work with last year. Like
Whoa,
I
whoa,
always
whoa,
say,
whoa, whoa. I had a couple people going back and forth with me saying, "Oh, Adam
hey,
Thielen is
hey,
this, Adam
hey,
Thielen is that,"
hey,
and
hey,
now he doesn't have anything to work with. This is
hey,
getting out of hand.
I'm about to break this down to you. the Panthers got robbed so bad
They got
by
robbed.
Chicago. So let's just pay attention to this. They switched the first round pick last year for a first round pick this year.
Yep.
So you basically trade that away. You trade away your wide receiver one. You trade away the ninth pick last year.
Yep.
You trade away a second round pick last year.
Yep.
And you trade a 2025 second round pick. If that ain't an all-time robbery just for Bryce Young, you didn't give Bryce Young an offensive line, you didn't give him wide receivers.
Nope.
You
Didn't even give him a
got
coach.
you got robbed.
Didn't even give him a coach.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that's an all-time robbery right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but like I said, I'm glad that they finally gave him a wide receiver. Because like I said, I don't know how good this guy's gonna be, but he pretty big guy. I think he's 6'1", 6'2". Got a pretty
he's
good
a big dude
vertical.
from South Carolina.
Yeah,
6'1",
yeah, yeah.
221. I mean 221. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, you definitely got a little something to work with. Because I mean, you couldn't do any worse. They gave him Deontay Johnson from Pitt,
Mm-hmm.
the Steelers,
From Pittsburgh.
and they still got Adam Thielen. So they trying to give him a little bit to work with. Like I said, they set him up so bad his first season. Like sometimes, it might not even be a quarterback. It might just be how you set him up that just turn his whole career around. Because I mean, after the first season, you like, I didn't have an offensive line. I didn't have wide receivers to throw to. Like, I'm depressed. Like,
yeah.
like,
Well,
like
you know
am
that
I good? Like you start thinking to yourself, like, am I good?
it's always that cliche. The number one pick is going to go somewhere that's terrible. And
And Williams got started
Chicago
pretty
could still
good
be
this year.
terrible, but Caleb Williams is walking into an amazing
Yeah.
situation in Chicago. If they can figure out what's going on with the coaching staff and all that good stuff, then and also their stadium. If they figure out all that stuff, they'll be good to go.
Yeah. I know Justin Fields said he happy because he said Chicago was pretty cold out there. But
Yeah,
I
I
know
think
he
they're
I
trying
know
to get
he
a new stadium set up, but
yeah.
I think they're trying to figure out the location on where they're going to have it. So that'll all go
Yeah, I'm
into it
about to say
regardless.
you gotta be careful where you put stadiums at in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's crazy.
But that was kind of our breakdown of the first round. Running out of time right now. So we're gonna end it in a little while. Ronney Sports Corner. I'm gonna try to have a show every week. Try to keep y'all updated. I will start NBA playoffs soon. So stay updated on that. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what y'all want to hear. Definitely gonna hear a lot from me as far as we're gonna talk more about the second, third round. We're gonna get into more of this draft. Like I said, we're gonna get into the NBA playoffs. Just getting started back. So y'all gonna hear a lot from me. It's gonna be a lot more videos. And I'm always gonna have my boy Sam with me. So
Yes,
I get used to him, and definitely gonna have some more people coming with me. But like, subscribe, comment, let me know what else y'all want to hear, and y'all gonna hear back from me in a little while. All right, peace out.